let me drive the slideshow, which I apologize to those of you that, okay. I might be a little slow. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Deanna McLaughlin. I'm wearing the Austin P sweatshirt because that is our university here in Clarksville. I'm the state commissioner designated by the governor. I was originally appointed in 2011, and it's just easier to keep who you have. And so I've rolled over through several terms. I'm also a city council member in Clarksville, Tennessee. And several of you know we've had some flooding this weekend, and just continued prayers for our residents that are trying to figure out how to recover from this. Fortunately, we did have the governor in town on Tuesday, and he toured my city council ward with me, and I'm hoping that we might get an emergency declared, which would be greatly appreciated. Okay, this is who we're expecting, or who our state council members are. There have been a couple changes since I put the slide deck out. So when Nathan calls the roll, if you're representing somebody whose name is listed, just please identify yourself for the record. Thank you. All right, Nathan, I'll hand it off to you.
Sure enough. James Bo Griffin.
Here.
And I'm here. General Baker.
Here.
Senator Briggs, Dr. Combs.
Here.
Mike Craig. Stewart County. Michaela, is that right? Gregory? Child and Youth Family Programs, Army National Guard. All right. Christy Carroll Highfield.
Here.
Dr. Ted Horrell.
Here.
Colonel Christopher Midbury. Or Mr. Peter Raymond for Colonel Midbury.
We do have
anyone here representing the garrison commander at Fort
We
Campbell?
have two slows from Fort Campbell. We have LaQuavia Garrett and Karen DeWitt Watkins. So hopefully Mr. Raymond's on his way.
Do you want me to count one of them as the designee?
Yeah, please count LaQuavia Garrett.
Okay. And Jean Luna Vetter, I know she's on.
Here.
Okay. And Dr. Catherine Stevens. Dr. Stevens.
Hey, I'm here.
Yay. All right.
Sorry, I couldn't get on the actual team, so dialing in.
No problem. No problem. We got Master Chief Chris Byard for Captain Torres.
Yes, sir.
Deb Muniz, I saw you come on.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Mark Reeves is absent. Carissa Poe. Anyone with Blue Star families?
She was on.
Hello, can you hear me?
There she is.
Hi, I'm here.
Great. Joey Vapp. Or Tiffany Campbell.
Hi, Tiffany. Yes, Tiffany Campbell here representing Arnold Air Force Base.
You've got 13, so you definitely have a quorum.
Thank you, everybody. This is our best turnout to date. Can you see my slide that says minutes? Everybody. Okay, great. All right, Nathan, you still have the floor.
Great. I move that the recording of our minutes from our last meeting, or a recording of the meeting from last time, serve as the minutes therefore, and that the recording for this meeting serve as the minutes for this meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second by Ted Horrell. Second by Ted Horrell.
All right. There's been a motion and a second. All in favor, just voice vote aye, please.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Oh. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I apologize. Okay, So we have some newcomers or visitors on today. Some are fellows for the governor. We also have some representatives from Department of Education, and we appreciate all being here. But just in the most basic terms, the compact that we represent is a state law that was adopted in all 50 states in Washington, D.C., that is the rule book for how educational transfers of military children K through 12 in a public school system or a publicly identified charter school are handled. I believe we were the 13th state. I can tell you that from then to now, the fact that we have all states, it is so much easier to resolve issues for families because you're not trying to resolve issues in a state that doesn't know what the compact is. We are housed under State Board of Education. Nathan James, who's the secretary of our council, he is the designee for State Board of Education, and him, Catherine Ann, and Casey take really good care of us as an organization, and we appreciate them greatly. I'm 100% volunteer in this capacity, and so is Deb Muniz, our military education family liaison. So we're uncompensated volunteers. For those of you that are new to this meeting, we acquired Deb from the state of Ohio. She was part of the first Purple Star School program, which was started in Ohio, and she was part of the public meetings, town hall meetings, stakeholder conversations about what the benefits of a Purple Star School program are. And when her and her husband decided to retire to Tennessee, we were lucky enough to get her to serve in our role as the military education family liaison. Okay, so I'm tracking that that Billy Kingdollar is on, and I think I saw Candy Collier, and is Deborah Knoll on? Okay, who else is with us that wasn't listed here except for school liaison officers? I have you on a different slide. Are there any other visitors with us today?
Hi, I'm Amanda Fucella. I'm also a Governor's Veteran Fellow, listening along with Billy.
Thank you, Amanda, for being here. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all. Thanks for being here. Okay, this is the part of our agenda where we're required by state statute and our bylaws to elect persons to serve as the chairman of the state council, the vice chairman, and the secretary. And I believe the three of us, we just continually get rolled over. It makes more sense, the most sense for me to continue to serve as the chairman, as I'm the state council, the commissioner, the state commissioner. But we will always take nominations for the floor for vice chairman and secretary. If nobody is interested or somebody would like to make a motion to adopt the slate of officers, we can go that direction. So I will entertain a motion if there's no conversation to adopt the slate of officers.
So moved by Ted Horrell.
Thank you, Dr. Horrell. Is there a
Second
second?
by Katrine Stevens.
Thank you,
Second by
Dr.
Katrine Stevens.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens. All right, so that it's easier to count. If anyone objects to the slate of officers, please say so now. Okay, I'll accept that as adopted by majority. Congratulations, James Bo Griffin. You're once again on here, so thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. It's because you have a purple suit. No? Okay. All right.
I thought it was funny.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Okay, so this is our state council, and I can tell you that when we first started up, we're trying to figure out which organizations in our state would benefit from being part of the state council for the compact, and also what partnerships we could form with organizations that serve military children. So if you look at our list, we have directors and superintendents of schools around our military installations, which is Naval Activity Mid-South in Millington. We also have representatives from Arnold Air Force Base and the school system outside, which is Dr. Stevens. By state statute, we're required to have the garrison commander from Fort Campbell, and also the director of schools from the most military child impacted school district, which is Clarksville, Montgomery County Schools. And then some other organizations like the Guard and Reserve, the Tennessee PTA, the TSSAA, which is the organization that oversees high school athletics, Blue Star Families, which I met Carissa a couple years ago. She's the state director. She actually lives here in Clarksville. We kept running into each other places. So, but that's our state council. And I understand that Tiffany will be replacing Joey as Joey's PCSing, but we appreciate you being here. And at any point, if anybody has any questions that aren't covered in this meeting today, just contact me. I'm a phone call away. All right, well, we'll skip Senator Briggs' slide as he is tied up today. All right, Christy, would you like to share with us some of the things that are going on in your organization as related to military families?
Sure. In Tennessee PTA, of course, we advocate for all children, and that absolutely includes military children. What we've been trying to do is put out information about the Star program to schools across the state to really try to promote it and help them understand it. And you do such a great job when you explain what the compact is. And I wish I need you on loop because you make it seem so simple. And it is, but it's, when you're explaining it. But so that's what we do is we go across and we actually have the information out and hopefully we're having another workshop coming up soon for any school who's interested that can attend to kind of, as we put out programs for our units to learn about what they can do with their families. So we put that out to any school that's interested and try to help promote the program for them.
Thank you. We appreciate your partnership. And if there's anything we can do to help you educate your members, we are here to do so. Carissa, Blue Star Families.
All right. Hi, everyone. So Blue Star Families, of course, our Tennessee chapter, we are committed to supporting the military children that we serve and their families. And we ensure that they have access to any vital information and resources that they do need. So with the compact, we just to ensure that they have that access, we're actually going to start sharing that in our neighborhood. That's a platform where military families and our members can actually share information and connect about resources in the community. And also, we share this with families when they come to us if they need one-on-one assistance, also by referring them to our school liaison offices that are on Fort Campbell. And I know our Clarksville Montgomery County school system, I was very pleased looking at the list at the number of schools that are listed as Purple Star schools already, and they do an amazing job with our youth. My daughter was a military kid and she just graduated from the CMCSS school. So just looking to collaborate more with our school system and also our school liaison officers to make sure our families have what they need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carissa puts on a great event during month of the military child called the Dandelion Festival. And if you're in the Clarksville area, it's a really good event. Watch our compact Facebook page for that. But I really enjoyed myself there, especially the petting zoo. Uh-oh. Sorry. All right, they are not on. All right, General Baker.
Thanks, Deanna. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on today, and appreciate all the council members being on a late Friday to get through this. just like to say welcome to Amanda and Billy, a couple of our most recent cohort of Governor's Veterans Fellowship fellows, and we're real proud of them. And thanks for giving me an opportunity today to talk a little bit to the council about how Tennessee Department of Veteran Services educates service members on the compact, because this is really give us an opportunity to kind of do some introspection and as a department and really think about this. I have to kind of be a little transparent today and tell you that we have not been, we don't have a formalized program about how to educate our constituents on the MIC3 program and what it brings to military families across the state, and especially their children. But we do think there's some opportunities that going forward we can explore. One of those being the governor signed an executive order July the 3rd, 2023, establishing or reconstituting the Tri-Stars and Stripes Council, made up of 13 members, statewide, state government, veteran service organizations, private sector, and that council also established some subcommittees, one of those being education benefits that General Scott Breyer, which many of you know, is the chair of. One of the things that they're looking at is how to expand the Purple Star School program statewide. I realize I think there's around 51 school systems currently that are part of that program, and they want to look at how they can expand the program, educate more folks about what the program does, and get it spread more across the state than it is currently. And then also they've made one of their outputs metrics for the next fiscal year to expand by 50%. So I think there's some opportunity there. I know the military department has 13 military family readiness offices across the state that they utilize to kind of educate the Guard, members about what the MIC3 program does and how they can utilize it. And there's some opportunities here for our department. We've informally had some younger students participate the last 2 years in our Veterans Day program that the governor sponsors, and the Memorial Day program as well. So it's given youngsters an opportunity to participate in some of our events, which we feel like, the generational passing of the torch is always a good thing. But in terms of the MIC3 program, we're going to do some self-inspection there and really look at how we can start adding that to part of our output in terms of just outreach and educating the public. One way may be to put a landing spot on our website that kind of talks about the program and what it does, and maybe list some of the schools that are already members. And as well as, I don't know, does the council have any brochures or anything that they utilize? Because we do a lot of outreach events where we pass out brochures about different things the department provides. Do y'all have that?
I can order just very standard MIC3 brochures from the national office, but we do not have, I know Deb was working on drafting a Purple Star brochure, and we'll ask her to touch on that when we get to her report. But if you just let me know if you want some of the standard issue, if you will, brochures from the compact, let me know how many you need and where you want them to go, and I can request those. Any of the organizations here. Sorry,
Madam Chair, is that also something that, what was the MIC3 organization, would they be of assistance with some of those things?
Well, Deb will talk about this when we get to her presentation, but she wanted she was working on a Tennessee specific Purple Star Award brochure. Because kind of like anything else, each state runs their programs a little bit different. A majority of the states on the Purple Star schools MIC3 isn't, the MIC3 commissioner and MFEL are not facilitating that. I think that we're the only state that, where it's part of our duties that we've taken on. There are actually people at the state level that run it for their states. So we wouldn't want to put anything out there that has any contrary information to what we do. So, but we can work on that. But again, Deb will speak more to that when she gets to her part. And then at the end of this presentation, there is a resource link that will take, if you need it, will take you to some resources available on the national website. And then, sir, we actually have a landing page on the State Board of Education website that if you just want to link that to your webpage, that Catherine Ann helps us keep that updated with who the state council members are, what is going on with our Purple Star School program, who the Purple Star schools are, and other resources like Month of the Military Child, etc. So that would probably be the easiest thing instead of repeating the effort that's already in place. But I love your internal inventory that you took. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Deanna. That's all I have for the council. Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, this is a great picture of Colonel Midbury. He had a schedule conflict. And we'll call on LaQuivia when we get to the school liaison officers. But there's his uniform, Master Chief Byard. So it's a little, the digitalization is a little different than yours. Okay. And you're playing the role of Captain Torres.
I am. So, you know, a little bit different. The captain is in captivity right now on a temporary duty assignment and unavailable, and he sends his apologies. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody here that's on this panel and all the educators throughout the great state of Tennessee that support our military children, not just for NSA Mid-South, but everywhere. We're truly blessed here at NSA Mid-South because we have Miss Jennifer Lundy that just makes this easy for us. Prior to her arrival, we were struggling with this program a little bit. She's pure rock star status. So all the credit to everything we do is all on her. She tells us when to dress up and where to go, and we help out where we can. But our school liaison officer is the best I've had in my 14 commands in the Navy. So we're proud to have her.
Thank you. And I concur. Before Jennifer arrived there was a lot of turnover in that position. And when there's a lot of turnover, there's a lot of inconsistency and following through of information. But I think, Jennifer, we've been together 10 years now, right? Pretty close.
I think that's about right. I'm blushing
Okay.
over here. Thank you for your kind words.
Yes. Okay. Did Michaela Gregory join us? Or anybody from the Guard? Okay. Speaking of school liaison officers, so we're fortunate in the state of Tennessee to be supported by three school liaison officers. One at Millington Naval Activity Mid-South is Jennifer Lundy, and then we have Karen and LaQuavia at Fort Campbell. And what's interesting about the Fort Campbell team is they also support the Kentucky side. So I'm sure when we get to them, they'll talk about how many different school systems they report to and assist with, in addition to having two state commissioners, Steve Bullard from Kentucky and myself. They have a pretty big responsibility area up there. Okay, Jennifer, take it away.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Jennifer Lundy. I'm a school liaison for Naval Sport Activity Mid-South. Like Dana said, I've been in this role for a little over 10 years now. And as far as like best practices go for MIC3 for us in this area, education is what I'm into and why I got into this role. And it's constant education for our schools. When you think you've got it down, a new faculty member comes in and you got to keep that training piece going. So that's really like the one thing that has been critical here for us, is just making sure that you're constantly going out, constantly sharing the information with your schools, because you never know who a family is going to walk in those front doors and go up to that desk to register and who they're going to come in contact with. So the more faces, the more people you can share it with, the better. And just it's constant. Like I've been here, it's a decade. It's been a long time. And it's constant sharing. And I learned that early on, when you sit back on your laurels and think, oh, I've got this. I went to that school and they're good. They got it now. That's when you realize, oh, you got to keep going. You got to keep working it, because we have new school members come in, new office members come in at those school sites. We also have new military families come in. So it's just constantly educating those families. And then I think the other piece that, as far as like what really helps out, is this Purple Star School Award has been absolutely fantastic. And it's really helped a lot with that education piece. We have a point of contact at the school site now. So when a person that's like, oh, I'm not sure what to do here, they know they have someone at their school, that they're a Purple Star school, that they can go to and ask for support. And that's been huge. A lot of the issues that may have gotten elevated to me in the past, I don't feel are getting elevated, because the schools are so educated and they're able to handle them now. They have that POC there. And it's just really been a great thing. And I'm really proud of our schools that have taken the initiative to get those Purple Stars and keep them. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
It's our anniversary. Okay. All right, LaQuavia.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm LaQuavia Garrett, the school liaison for Fort Campbell, also the state lead for Tennessee when it comes to MIC3. So on behalf of the Garrison, just want to reiterate, we will be having like a start meeting. So our student transition response team, where we're meeting with all local directors of school, superintendent. So we cover over 6 districts here on Fort Campbell, to include Tennessee and Kentucky. And with that, having 2 commissioners, 2 different mindsets, 2 different states with 2 different rules and laws can be challenging, but it's so rewarding when you're working with your military connecting students. And to agree with Jennifer, having the schools being Purple Star makes our job a little bit easier as we go in and educate the counselors, educate the schools on what is Purple Star and what is the MIC3. Them getting that information, that guidance, help drive the transition, smoother transition for those family in and out of the installation. So we've seen a success with that, and also our partnership with Montgomery County for those who live on the installation but going to school off the installation. That's been a great success. We're working with the different districts, even with our retiree families. So we've seen a lot of success with that. We haven't had any issues. I'm not sure what our annual business meeting will look like this year, because we don't have anything to report, because everything has been going smoothly, even with our post-secondary education, ensuring that the student, once they graduate, if they're going to a different state, that they're not being charged out-of-state fees due to their parents transitioning PCS into different areas. So we've seen a lot of great success and great support from all of our districts, Tennessee and Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen?
I wanted to add to about the awareness of it. I have been doing a lot of speaking with parents and giving them awareness of the compact and sharing information for transitioning families, because I get the paperwork from the levy briefs, the transition paperwork. And so when I call the families to see if they would like to have a youth sponsor, I also bring up the awareness of the compact, and then I bring up Purple Star. And when I explain that to them, so that helps to mitigate a lot of challenges before they leave or before they arrive, because I also get the incoming families for transitioning. So I always take that chance to tout when they're going to Montgomery County or Christian County about the Purple Star schools. It gets them really excited about it, and the awareness of the compact, because a lot of parents weren't aware. And then they'll say, oh, well, I have this question. So that helps to mitigate a lot of issues going and coming to the installation and to Clarksville.
Thank you. Elaine, did you join? So technically, we don't have an Air Force School liaison officer, but Elaine, who works out of England Air Force Base in Florida, she's kind of adopted us because she has airmen that transfer between her installation and Arnold quite often. And so she just she keeps in touch with me, lets me know what's going on, potential issues that may be headed our way. But one of the cases I'm going to share with you later on the slide deck, it was not actually a compact related case, but when you ask Elaine to help you with something, she gets resolution. She's like a pit bull. She doesn't let go. So I thought she was going to join us, but she's definitely a good partner that we have, even though she's clear down there in Florida. She definitely cares about all military children and does what she can to help us in Tennessee, which we really appreciate. Okay, Deb Muniz, your turn.
Hi, everyone. I want to kind of give you, and I think part of this was explained, but Purple Star started out as really the commissioner for the Ohio MIC3 saying we still have schools that have no idea, which leads to these issues between the school and the military parents. And he really wanted to figure out how we could go about that. So there's a lot of discussion about how we could solve this problem. One is, which, people jump to first is, well, we'll just put it in to, regulation for the schools. They have to do this. And if they don't, then we punish. And we decided that really wasn't any of our personalities. And we didn't think it was going to really lead to teachers in the building or principals in the building adopting this with open arms. So we decided that we would go another way. Well, could we do an award? We were kind of in the same situation. There really was no money to do anything. But we felt like if we did this award and the Department of Ed would pay for the banners, this story sounds very, familiar, that we could go ahead and do this. And so I think it was 2017 when the first class was inducted. And since that time, I think we are now at 45 or 46 states that have adopted a Purple Star program. Now, Deanna's very right. The issue with putting something that comes from a different state becomes a dilemma because the way we do Purple Star may be different. The rules and how you get the award may be different. Now, from what I have seen, most of the states adopt the same things. And I can tell you, when we sat with parents, point of contact was a huge thing because they felt like schools didn't know what was going on with their transfer, whether they could have time off when a parent was deployed. So having a point of contact. And then the second thing the parent said is they really need to know, how to help, because they felt like there just wasn't an organized way to understand. Because a lot of schools, and I'm going to tell you, I was a school teacher many years and administrator, they, even my school, before I went to the Department of Education, didn't know that MIC3 existed. It was when Pete pulled me in and said, we're having this problem. Will you be part of this committee? So getting that information out so the school understands that this is a population that we need to support as they're making all these transitions or deployment. So we have a point of contact. One of the other requirements is that point of contact has to take a training related to military family issues. So thank goodness we have MCEC and the National MIC3, and they have great trainings. So that's our second piece of the puzzle. The third piece was really based on, and I'd never thought about it, but as families transition, many of them shop school first, home second. So what they told us was we go through the school's websites And we look to see which one seems like, they're working with military families. What are their test scores like? I mean, they really dive into the school's website where, that are a possibility for their child to enroll. So our third piece is that we have to they have to have a website, and it has to have resources on there, whatever they feel will serve their families. We don't dictate what they have to put on there, though sometimes they give a little push and, a little advice about, things. But we want it to be for those families that they serve. And they know them far better than, us sitting here and discussing it. They understand it. And then the next thing is, or our final piece is about what activities they do to show the school, to show the families that they're proud to have these military families there, and they are extremely welcome there. And people are going to work hard to make things come about. So I say all that in a long run, most of those things show up in every single Purple Star state. But it really is, the whole Purple Star idea came about to help educate school personnel on what military families go through, and then also how to help. Because sometimes being educated in something and really knowing how to help can be two different things. So every single component was driven specifically to that point about we need to have educated people in our schools to help these families. And I think Tennessee has, we have schools that do extraordinary things. And being a person that served in a couple of different spots, it makes me very proud because, when they do things for our military families, they're also doing things for their special ed kids, their gifted kids, their kids who have a difficult time reading. So it just gives you that feeling that they just take this on as one more piece to the entire puzzle. So it makes me very proud, very excited that they take this on with such gusto as I go through their applications and their emails that they send me. It's great stuff. So can we move
ready for the next slide?
I am. I kind of went long on that one, but I felt
That's
like we
okay.
needed to kind of.
Yeah.
So you can see that the past, what we've done. We started very small. Deanna and I did those 6 schools that first time, and you just wonder, is it ever going to catch on? Well, thanks to a lot of what you guys have done, you can see every year we get a little bit stronger, and this year is no different. You can ask all the paperwork sitting on here on my table, so you can go on, Deanna. All right, so this year we have a phenomenal class. We have a great mix of schools that are renewing and schools that are brand new. And it's funny because, and years ago, Pete and I had this conversation about, schools, when someone in the area kind of gets an award, the other schools perk up their heads and go, okay, I think we can do that. And I think that's exactly what has kind of happened, because I can see there's a little seed here and it just seems like it gets blown over, a county over or 2 counties over. So it's awesome to watch this kind of spread. And this year it definitely did. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very pleased because we have quite a few schools that the entire school district is Purple Star. And this year, Clarksville is the first large school to go 100%. Every single one.
Anthony Johnson, yay!
Congratulations!
But you look at you look at a lot of our, not a lot, but you look at several of our schools and they're 100%. And that means a lot to me, because it shows that comes from leadership, both at, at the district level, building level, that this is something that's important. And for some districts, you can watch them grow over time. And it's wonderful to watch. So we do have 51 schools this year, which is a little better than last year. Like I said, we're growing. It's slow, but we're growing, and I will take it. So I'm very pleased. Yes.
I couldn't get
Thank
51
you.
stars on there. We wouldn't be able to see the words.
Well, thank you. That is pretty awesome. I really enjoy reading their applications, there's nothing like looking at pictures of teachers and families and veterans celebrating. It just, kids out there, planting things and working with veterans, and it just is. It's awesome. I wish I could send you all the pictures, but I'm sure your emails would not handle that well. So I'll just tell you they are very cool. All right.
Before we go on to the next slide, we would not have a Purple Star School program in the state of Tennessee without Deb Muniz. And when somebody submits an application and it's not complete, she personally will contact that potential point of contact and help them work through the application process so that they do qualify for the award. She's probably the hardest working person I know that doesn't get paid.
I just feel very strongly about, our families need it. You can also ask certain waitresses in some of the restaurants here in the Chattanooga area about this strange tall lady that found out I had a military spouse and was telling me about MIC3, gave me an email, a website to visit, told me about Purple Star, to check out Purple Star schools. Yeah, you just don't even want to know. I'm like traveling.
But I do want to know.
Person. So
well, Deb,
if you want to slide on.
Okay, but I was bragging on you. You never let me to do that, but take a compliment.
Oh, well, thank you, ma'am. It is great fun. So now I just need, before we do a vote, on the slide, there was one school from Clarksville, I think, that I had asterisks on. I'm sorry.
Bernstaden.
Yes. Yes. I did that because they came in about midway through, and the first opportunity that they could sign up for the Compact 101 course was just a week or so ago. And so I didn't know if I would get all the documentation. So I just wanted to make sure that there was a reminder that we might need to discuss that particular school, but that school did manage to get all their documentation in. Bless their hearts, because they really worked very hard to get that ready for me. So now I'm ready to go on. Okay. All right. So we do have 51 schools that have turned everything in. You can see, I think Deanna sent out my sheet where I keep all my my documentation. And if we have a motion for us to approve those 51 schools, that'd be awesome.
So moved by Ted Horrell.
Make a motion. I'll second Katrine Stevens.
So Ted Horrell made the motion and Katrine Stevens made the second. Okay.
So is there any, do you want to go ahead?
No, you're driving this train.
Oh, well, let's just hope it doesn't derail. So is there anyone, I think I'll follow your lead. Is there anyone that does not approve of these 51 schools being Purple Star designees or Purple Star awardees? Oh, yes, thank you. So that should pass very nicely. All right, next steps. I have some emails up. I was getting ready for this meeting, so in the next couple of days, I'll be sending out congratulations emails. With that email will come an award letter that can, if the school wants to use it, they can to send to any media. So that press release is there for them. This year, there will be very limited visits. Yeah, there'll just be, I think, very limited visits this year. Deanna, do you want to go to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Last year, you can see that there was a group of us out and about, and it was great fun. I do enjoy the schools. They're very proud of what they have achieved. You can see their pride in what they've achieved, and I think that's great fun in anybody's mind. There may be a few visits this year. The banners will be shipped to the school. I think, Deanna, I'm just going to ask, other than maybe the ones that you're going to get, that they be sent to the school. That way, if something doesn't work out, then I don't have to feel like, I have those in my hand.
Casey is a huge help. We can work with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's great. He's awesome.
But with 51 banners, I mean, we're gonna have to spend an afternoon at the office and put them out there. And the reason why there's limited visits this year is just our state board of education budget is a little bit tight below the line, and I do not deficit spend. So that's just not something we do at the state level. We'll hopefully we'll be able to do a little more travel next year.
And in addition to what Nathan said, every year I request certificates from the governor. I'm just going to ask that those be mailed directly to the schools as well, except for Clarksville and Montgomery County schools. I'll accept all those banners and certificates like we've done in the years past, except last year, Deb and I had to meet an interstate exit to do an exchange.
Yeah, we get involved in some very interesting dilemmas in our world. So and with all that said, the banners, just thanks, Nathan, for you kind of stepping in there and helping us get those banners. Those are awesome. They're beautiful. And it's
That's
great
Casey.
to walk
He works that hard. He's so want to thank Casey Griffin for that. And so
yeah, he does. All I have to do is message him with a favor, and he jumps on it. He's awesome. So with that said, I want to talk about the National MIC3 and MCEC. If you're looking for something for training, both of those sites have great trainings. Some of them are longer. I usually send people to the Compact 101 because it's a great introductory course for people. And I feel like that helps our point of contacts kind of step out there with background in each of the components of the MIC3. All right.
Okay, now we'll just take a tour of presentations from last year. And State Board of Education did some great job on the graphics. I'm guessing that was Catherine Ann. Okay. But these are some of the schools. There's a man in a purple suit there. Some of you might know him.
Thanks, Mom.
I wish I could see this purple suit.
I'm sure he has plenty of pictures in it. We'll make sure you get one.
But what's so interesting is you go from school to school and each one of them approaches it just a little bit different. And it's nice to see how they do things to tailor to their community, to their parents. It's great what they do.
There are a lot of Clarksville ones. And the man on the far right is my state senator, Bill Powers. He for state purple up day gets his colleagues to wear purple and then sends me a picture, which I think is great. Okay, Deb, here you are.
Okay. This year, I think the online application worked well. So I think we'll leave it as such. We'll be using the Tennessee MIC3 webpage. I'm going to be asking Catherine to take down those documents for now until we're ready to start up again, because I get people wanting to apply in May. And so, and I have to tell you, I'm not very good at looking at the Purple Star email regularly after probably 4 weeks after we do this session. So we're again going to use MCEC and the National MIC3. I will review and update and I'm going to include a new document. I think people go through the application and there's questions on the application about what they learned. And some of the people that I know are new people answer the questions before they take the training. And so I want to encourage them to take the training, then answer the questions, because that helps me understand kind of where they are. And then when I look through the other documents, it helps it all line up for me. So did I have another page, Deanna?
Magic.
All right. Yeah. I do have a brochure for the Tennessee MIC3 that I send out to the schools for them to share with parents. That document may be one that I could provide to people so that they would have information and then could pass it on to other people. So I could kind of send that out via email. The other piece, this past summer, I started doing a newsletter. So I'm going to be trying to do that 3 times a year, at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. I feel like people pick up a little bit every time they're exposed to the information. So none of it is like new science. It is just pieces I've pulled out to kind of help build bridges of knowledge. The other piece is I take some of the best practices, what I consider best practices that our schools share with me, and then I include that in that newsletter as well, so that maybe I don't know, something to do to help build a sense of community with those that are involved, with the military, then that newsletter may be able to help you make that step. So it really is about sharing information both on the Tennessee MIC3 rules. The other part is giving them ideas that other schools are using to work with their learners. The next one I'm not sure about. I have the newsletters, I have the trifold. The other piece that I'm thinking about is a Facebook group, so people could get on and kind of share, give our point of contacts a sense of community, because we have people that don't have high numbers of military, but they may be scattered everywhere. And so they may be a single, you know, in 150 miles of somebody else. So I'm toying with that. If you have any thoughts, I would make it a group, a private group, so that we don't get a lot. I don't want to deal with scammers and other things, but I really have this strong sense that there needs to be some type of sense of community for those that go beyond, you know, the heavy military presence. And I think you guys have talked a lot about how do we reach school systems. And so what I will do is that trifold, I think, has a lot of information on it, both about MIC3 and Purple Star. I will just need to tweak it a little bit because I have left room on that document for the schools to add their own information. So maybe I'll leave a place so if it is TSSA, they could put in some information about themselves, because I feel like it's a partnership with a lot of people. So all right. And same way with military recruiters. So yeah. I think that's all for me.
Okay.
But if
Thank you, Deb. This is just looking ahead to scheduled Compact 101 trainings that are available. You don't have to be applying to be a Purple Star school to go through the webinar. There's a lot of good information that's general across all the states. Okay, so school system members, since we're running kind of long, if you have any suggestions on how we can reach out to, there's an organization for school office staff, registrars, guidance counselors that we might be able to tap into when we send information out. If you could email that to us, not now, but when you have an opportunity, then we can include information to those organizations when we contact TOS to send stuff out. That would be helpful. Thank you. And then this is just the communities across the state that have recruiters in them. The ones highlighted in purple, we have a Purple Star school presence in those communities or their military installation. But just keep this in mind, how we can get the recruiters. And I did recently obtain a contact for, very similar to a family resource person for recruiters. And hopefully her and I are going to be able to connect here in the next couple weeks to talk about how we can more streamline information to them. It's probably very difficult to be the only military kid in your school. And if they're ready with information as a parent, hopefully we don't have a lot of cases that come our way, which has been the case. I think that compared to 10 years ago, Jennifer, when we started out, we were probably working more cases than we ever would have imagined. And fortunately, either the parents are getting the information and are armed with it before PCSs actually happen. So they're already contacting their receiving school system about what is required, which is so helpful for the transition of those kids. And we do work cases in the summer, and they're resolved really quickly. And I would probably say I'm getting a fraction of the cases that I used to, because our school liaison officers are handling things before it gets to me. And I know you all are saying that your cases are decreasing as well, because as awareness travels across our state and across our different branches of the military, people are more prepared. I have been talking with Congressman Green about, and military service members, don't freak out when I say this, about how there could possibly be a sampling of compact information whenever a military service member goes to a school after they are E5 or higher, just a sampling of what the compact is. Because those are your future leaders. Those are the service members that are responsible for other soldiers. And so we talk about this about twice a year, but if there was a way, if somebody goes to PLDC or another school, they might just get a quick brief on what the compact is. They may not need it at the time, but they may need it in the future. And as a former military spouse, I knew that things were handled at home, then my husband could take care of what he needed to do when he was deployed. And that's just another thing to help our service members stay on mission focus. So that hopefully I'll have a report on that when we send out our annual report in June. And I'm not going to read these. You all have the slide deck, but everything that we had was resolved so fast this year, and it's all through relationships. We have directors of schools and superintendents of schools as part of this group. And we know exactly who to go to resolve issues. And even a super complicated one that was not a compact issue, I'll let them know it's not a compact issue, but we can get you to the person that can help you resolve that. And that's what's great about this group. We all work together to do what's best for the military family. But that was a Dr. Stevens case. She solved that so fast. But because of time, I'm just going to skip through these. If you have any questions after you read them, let me know, but it just kind of gives you an example. What we do as far as the compact goes, we have to follow the state statute. And when we follow the state statute, there's a rule book of the rules for the compact, and we have to stay within those, or I cannot intervene as a commissioner for the compact. So if there's something that pops up that's not a compact case, again, I'll let them know and I'll explain why. But the fact that all 50 states and Washington, D.C. are all compact members is super, super helpful. Every year I do include the stats for where impact aid is going in our state. And those of you in education, or those of you that are parents, usually the first part of school, a letter goes home that asks questions if you are a federal government impacted family. And a lot of time that determines where Department of Defense impact aid goes, other impact aid, and in some cases, DODEA impact aid. But I have all the stats, and then the link there is the resource of where I get it. There's a really nice man in DC that helps me put all the data together. This is the federal impact aid payout for fiscal year 24. You can see because of military families and other federally impacted families in our state, the federal government is sending Tennessee about $52 million in impact aid.
Deanna, I would say I would double check for Clarksville, Montgomery County. For fiscal year 24, we got about 1.3 million. I think that 35 million is the history of impact aid for CMCSS. So I'm not sure if that's true for others, but I just wanted to flag that.
Okay, thank you. It could also have been a Deanna typo. I'm my own admin. So as you all have seen my struggles with Google surveys and whatnots. So apologies. And then this is where the data is coming from and how it's measured. But this is the running total of military kids in our state from 22 forward. And you can see we've had a decline in service members. This typically happens every couple of years. We ebb and flow as far as numbers go. Based on our change in administration, we might be involved in more military-related activities going forward. So we could see the number change again next year. This is the breakout of military kids by branch. And we do in Tennessee extend the services of our compact over to Guard and Reserve children, whether their parents are on active duty status or not. That was something that Senator Powers and Nathan helped us get drafted up and passed through the legislature. A military kid is a military kid. This is the breakout by age. This was the legislation that I referenced about that Senator Powers sponsored about including language. We did not, the change was not in our compact proper statute, but it falls under education, but it basically states that we will take care of all military children in our state when it comes to educational transfers. Service branch total, active duty and reserve. We do, oh, sorry. Dr. Stevens does have some Space Force kids in her community. Although we don't, and something that I kind of puzzles me is the compact language applies to the National Oceanic Organization and also the United States Health Organization because they are a type of service member, although not proper military. But we haven't been able to get data on how many of those children are in our state for several years, which kind of leads me to believe that we don't have a presence with those organizations currently.
Well, we definitely have the presence of the U.S. Public Health Service, but I don't know.
Children-wise,
Yeah.
Todd Rue couldn't get any data for me. Okay, so this is something I need advisement on. I, for the last 2 years, have been on the finance committee for the national organization. And Nathan knows this about me because him and I are a lot alike. We like fiscal responsibility and not spending outside of the budget and going to the deficit. And I've been pretty vocal about planning for multiple years and not just going year to year. And so there's an effort now for us to look at a dues increase. Currently, the state of Tennessee, let's see, currently we pay $1.15 per military child that resides in the state of Tennessee active duty. So it used to be where they were stationed, but then it ended up Kentucky was paying more on their end because Fort Campbell is in Kentucky. So it was changed to where the family resides. And these are the stats for Tennessee. And what the recommendation is that the national organization vote to do a 4% increase in dues. Me personally, I don't think it's necessary. We handle all of the cases in Tennessee directly. The national office isn't handling any of our cases. We're doing it ourselves. And for those of you who've been around a while, I've been pretty vocal about we're paying state money to a national organization. And yet Nathan figures out how to cover our banners in his budget. And occasional travel for Purple Star School Awards, but we don't have any funding in the state of Tennessee to run our organization. Not that I'm asking for it, but I have a hard time looking at sending more money to a national organization when we're doing all the work here. So we're supposed to have a very long finance committee meeting in March to look at the dues increase. I have asked multiple times for breakouts and line items about where money is going, how much benefit time the staff get, et cetera. And so I'm bringing this to you for thought, because when we meet as a national organization in October for our national convening of commissioners, I believe this topic is going to be on deck for us to vote. I will provide any information that I have about this to you guys when I do my June annual report. Nathan, I'll talk to you on the side, but I wanted to make you all aware of what we're looking at. And this is based on our current numbers. And the trend for military children has gone down slightly each year in Tennessee. So this is for informational purposes. This is basically a 3 to 4 dues increase based on how it will be applied to the national budget for the national organization. They're a pseudo government entity because they're housed at the Council of State Governments in Lexington, Kentucky. But they just applied a dues increase to each bucket, not explaining yet what each thing within those line items is. So I'm hoping to get more information on that because I like to read the city budget line by line. Okay, I want to read this one line by line also. So that's just a continuation of that. So moving on to Month of the Military Child, here's some pictures from last year. This is Chris's event. So Month of the Military Child is coming up. Clarksville, Montgomery County Schools did something really cool. The date for Purple Up Tennessee is actually in their parent calendar. And we as a state will be celebrating our National Purple Up Day will be on the 16th of April. And there's the CMCSS calendar right there. Dr. Luna Vetter there. Thank you for doing that. So our goal is to do our Purple Star School awards, get those to the schools for April. And then each school system or entity is encouraged to do something within your organization for Month of the Military Child. Like in other jurisdictions, you can contact your local government and see if the mayor or superintendent of the county would do a proclamation. If buildings in your community would light up purple. There's some really fun things that happen, and I love to post that stuff and tout Kentucky or tout Tennessee. In the past, we've had the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville's lit up purple on our Purple Day. We've had other government buildings across the state that have done that as well. And since we started doing that here, other states do it as well. But it's exciting to see what different communities do to support Month of the Military Child. If you go to our website, Catherine Ann posted the most recent information about Month of the Military Child. But here are some ideas. I love unique things that you all do. And then this is our landing page on the State Board of Education. The resources tab will take you to the rules, a copy of our TCA code, which is our state statute on the compact. It's been updated with the TCA code for covering Guard and Reserve children. It lists who we are as state council members, a Purple Star School Award, resources for Month of the Military Child. State Board has really done an excellent job taking care of us, and we greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I think I got us kind of caught back up. Are there any public comments? So the public would be our fellows that have joined us and our guests from Department of Ed. If you all have any comments that you'd like to share with us. And I'm looking forward to partnering with you all to get our information on your page. That was initiated by a Penn State study that basically said nobody can find information about the compact in Tennessee because in a lot of states, I'd say we're the only state where the compact falls under State Board of Ed. Most people are going to Department of Ed's websites. Nathan, do you have information on that? You lit up your microphone.
Not on purpose.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it's just, it's statutorily housed with us. It's not, I don't know how to make that interesting.
Well, it was brand new, and Governor Haslam was just looking for a place, and he was like, "Oh, let's throw a dart. Department of Ed or State Board of Ed gets you."
Fine with us.
Yeah, me too. Okay. And then General Baker, just to let you know that I know Scott Brower very well, and he actually reached out to me last year about what they were trying to do. And so he could not attend today, but he definitely has. We've been engaged with him, or I have, and I know you have too, about how they can help us. So I'm trying to see if he can't find somebody from their organization to join our council, which would be great. And then in other news, we do have a new council member that will be joining us after this meeting, Dr. Allison Clark. She's the superintendent of schools for Arlington City Schools. She's replacing Dr. Mayo, who passed away, unfortunately, in August from a medical battle. But she, thanks to Jennifer Lundy, she's connected us, and she wants to be part of our group, which is great. So does anybody else have anything to share? All right, well, I appreciate everything you do for our military kids and all kids in general, and our service members. Thank you for your time. And I think we're a great group. Deb is an excellent job, and I'm excited for people to start posting their pictures with their banners. It'll be great. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second by Ted
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. So let the record reflect we're adjourning at 5:21 p.m. Thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you.